Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another weekly meal prep on WW. Today I am going to show you a total of 3 recipes. I'm going to show you a breakfast recipe, a lunch recipe, and then we are going to make a sweet treat to have on hand for some desserts during the week. Now let me tell you, this sweet treat is something that will take you back to your childhood. It is WW friendly and it is absolutely phenomenal. Delicious, delicious, delicious. So if you want to see all the meals that I prepped for the week, breakfast, lunch, a dessert, and snacks, stay tuned. For part of my breakfast this morning, I am so excited to be making the WW Pound Dropper Cinnamon Roll Casserole. Yes, my friends, cinnamon rolls on WW. So I'm excited to have that as part of my breakfast. I'm going to pair that with a protein, most likely with some eggs. So let me show you what is in the cinnamon roll casserole. You're going to need some self-rising flour, some regular flour, some unsweetened almond milk, some sort of sweetener alternative. I'm going to go ahead and use this monk fruit sweetener, a sweetener alternative of brown sugar. This is actually not Splenda brown sugar. This is Stevia brown sugar. And then you're going to need some light butter, some eggs, some vanilla, some cinnamon, and then some Pillsbury sugar-free vanilla frosting. So let's get started on our cinnamon rolls. The first thing we need to do for our cinnamon roll casserole is go ahead and make the base of our cinnamon rolls. So in my cup here, I have 2.5 cups of self-rising flour. And we're just going to add everything to one bowl and mix it with the hand mixer. I also have 3/4 of a cup of the monk fruit sweetener. You can use any sweetener alternative that you want. I just happen to use monk fruit. I also have 2 tablespoons of melted light butter, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. We're going to do a dash of cinnamon, about 1 teaspoon worth of cinnamon. You can measure it or just kind of wing it like I do. And then we're also going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Again, you can measure it or just kind of eyeball it. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and add our 2 eggs. I just broke them in a separate bowl just to avoid the shell. And then we are going to take our hand mixer and mix all of this together. You want to make sure that it's nice and combined. Make sure that you are using a rather large bowl because this is a lot of ingredients. And always when you have flour, it likes to kind of fling the ingredients everywhere. So we're going to get this nice and combined until everything is combined together. Once you get your batter nice and combined, we are going to go ahead and add it to our greased 9x13 baking dish. So you want to go ahead and add that to the bottom. Make sure that it gets spread out nice and even. And this is going to be the base of our cinnamon rolls. I did have a little taste, don't tell, off of the mixer, and oh my gosh, you guys, it's so delicious. It's sweet, it's cinnamony. Yeah, I'm really happy that you can have cinnamon rolls on WW because that is one thing I love. And who'd have known, right? Who'd have known? Thanks to WW Pound Dropper, we now know that that is a reality for us. So we're going to go ahead and get this set aside while we create our topping. Next, we're going to create the crumble topping for our cinnamon roll casserole. So what I have here is 2 tablespoons, whoo, that's hot, of light melted butter. I'm also going to add in 1/4 cup of the Stevia brown sugar mixture. There we go. And then 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And this is essentially going to be creating a crumble for us. I'm also going to add in some ground cinnamon. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add in a dash of the almond milk. And then we are going to just stir this together with a spoon until we have a crumble consistency. And then we're going to drop this by the spoonful on top of our cinnamon roll mixture. Oh my gosh, yum, yum. So I'm going to get this all stirred up and then we'll drop this onto our cinnamon roll mixture. Once you've prepared your mixture, we are just going to take it and drop it by the spoonful on top of our cinnamon roll batter. And then we'll use a knife to kind of intermix it throughout. With my cinnamon roll casserole, I'm going to go ahead and make some scrambled eggs. I am going to plan on having 2 eggs each day. So I'm going to go ahead and crack 10 eggs into my bowl here. I'm going to add a little bit of Trader Joe's onion salt, some Trader Joe's ground black pepper, and then my favorite thing to add to eggs is non-fat Greek yogurt. It makes them nice and creamy without any additional points. So I'm going to get my scrambled eggs all ready to cook up. All right, I've got my eggs cooking on the stove. As soon as these are finished and the cinnamon roll casserole is finished, we will load up our meal prep containers for the week, and I'll show you what my entire breakfast is going to look like. With my breakfast, I'm going to go ahead and have some grapes. I went ahead and de-stemmed and washed these. I'm going to go ahead and get them into little sandwich bags, and then this will be part of my breakfast as well. I just pulled the cinnamon roll casserole out of the oven. My house smells amazing. I'm going to let this cool for just about 5 minutes, and then we are going to measure out our sugar-free vanilla frosting to add to the top. Yeah, you guys, this is definitely looking amazing. I've went ahead and measured out 3 tablespoons or 90 grams of sugar-free frosting, and then I went ahead and put that in the microwave for about 30 seconds until it was melted. And then we are literally going to just drizzle this over the top of our cinnamon roll casserole. And then every bite of our casserole will have vanilla frosting. Okay, you guys, seriously, this, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spread my frosting out a little bit more evenly, and then I'll show you what the completed cinnamon roll casserole looks like. And here is the completed cinnamon roll casserole. Now, if you are not a sugar-free frosting fan, in the original recipe down in the description box below, there is a recipe to create your own frosting. So no fear if you have a hard time with the sugar-free frosting. I'm going to let this cool just a little bit longer. We're going to get this sliced into 12 equal sections and loaded up in the meal prep container so I can show you my completed breakfast for the week. Here is the completed cinnamon roll casserole. You guys, I had a little taste of this. This is absolutely delicious. This is one of the best WW recipes that I have ever created. It tastes literally like a cinnamon roll. This is the size of piece that you get for only 4 Smart Points. Yes, 4 Smart Points. It almost fills the entire large side of my meal prep container. Here's what my breakfast looks like with the cinnamon roll casserole and 2 of the scrambled eggs. And like I said, this cinnamon roll looks absolutely positively amazing. Let me get all my meal preps put together and I'll show you my final breakfast. And here are my finished meal preps for the week. So I have 1/12 of the cinnamon roll casserole for 4 Smart Points, 2 scrambled eggs for 0, and then I'm going to have a fruit with my breakfast. I have little snack-sized bags of green and black grapes. So this, my friends, is a 4 Smart Point decadent, delicious breakfast. For lunches this week, I'm going to be making a slow cooker meal just so that it can cook throughout the day while I finish meal prepping the rest of my meals for the work week. I am making the Skinny-ish Dish slow cooker beef and tater taco stew. I am so excited to have this for lunches this week. It is winter, it is snowy, it is cold, and this is going to be the perfect lunch for this next work week. So here's everything that is in my slow cooker beef and tater taco stew. You're going to need 4 cups or 1 32-ounce container of beef broth, some tomato sauce, some black beans, fat-free refried beans, rotel, salt, paprika, pepper, oregano, red chili pepper flakes, garlic powder, cumin, seasoning salt, chili powder, and onion powder. So a lot of spices. 2 cups of either frozen or canned corn, The recipe calls for 93.7 ground beef. I do not have any, so I'm actually going to use 96.4 ground beef. It may lower the points, but I am just going to count mine for the original points of the recipe. Better safe than sorry, in my opinion. And then we are going to need 3 cups of either diced or shredded hash browns. So let's get all this good stuff into our slow cooker. The first thing we need to get started is browning our pound of ground beef. So I have that here in my pan, and all I have added to it is just a sprinkle of Himalayan pink salt and just a sprinkle of ground black pepper. So we're going to get this cooked down, and then we will add all of the rest of the ingredients and our ground beef to our slow cooker. I've went ahead and added my cooked ground beef to my crock pot. You can see here that I do use a crock pot liner. I really like these. It makes cleanup a lot easier. So to this, we are literally going to add all the rest of our ingredients. So I am going to start just with my corn, and I decided to use frozen corn. So I have a bag of frozen corn here, which is about 2 cups. So I'm going to go ahead and add the entire bag of corn to get about 2 cups worth. I have also measured out 3 cups worth of the hash browned potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and add those. And then for our sauces, we have our tomato sauce. So we'll add that. This is super easy. I love crock pot recipes, especially when you've got a lot of meal prep to do. It just makes it really easy. And then we have a can of black beans. We are not going to rinse and drain them. So make sure that you do not do that unless that's your preference. But the recipe does not call for them to be rinsed and drained. And then I've got a can of no salt added Rotel. I wanted mild, but my store didn't have any, so hopefully it's not too spicy. And then you can see here that I've went ahead and I've added all of my spices to a paper plate that is in my meal. This just makes it easy. I can measure them out, throw them on a paper plate, and then add them all into my crock pot at once. Plus, you have to admit it's kind of pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and add all my seasoning. This should be so good. I'm so excited. And then I'm going to add 4 cups of my beef broth. So I'm just going to pour that over the top. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add in my fat-free refried beans. I'm going to grab a spoon to get those in there. So I've went ahead and added my refried beans, and then we're just going to give this a stir. And I'm going to go ahead and set this on low and let this cook for the entire day. This looks amazing, and it is only, you guys, 3 smart points for a serving. I will show you exactly what a serving size looks like when I load up my meal prep containers. And I'm just going to pair my soup with some saltine crackers, and I'm also going to pair it with some veggies. So we'll add all of that to the meal prep container, but I'm going to go ahead and get this on to low and let this cook while we complete the rest of this week's meal prep. All right, my lunch is done in the crock pot. This is that beef and tater soup. This looks so good. My house, between the rest of the meal prep recipes in this soup, it is absolutely smells delicious in here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this into my meal prep containers. You can have 1.5 cups of this soup for the smart points. So I'll go ahead and put this in my meal prep containers, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm going to be having for lunch. So here is my completed lunch. This is 1.5 cups of the soup. And this, my friends, is only 3 smart points. 3. And this is a big meal prep bowl. Look at that. And it is about halfway full for 3 smart points. So you can see that I've prepped 5 bowls. I am also going to take some of my fat-free cheddar cheese, and I'm going to put it in one of those little to-go cups. And that is going to top my soup right after I warm it up to eat it. And then I'm also going to count out 4 saltines. 4 saltines is 1 smart point, so I can crumple those up in my soup as well. The cheese is 0, so the soup with the 4 saltines is only 4 smart points. And with my soup, I will be having one of my lean muscle bites. I'll either do cookie dough or the M&M, and that is 2 smart points. And then I'm going to have a Cara orange. So this lunch is a total of 7 smart points, 7 filling smart points. For dessert this week, as well as some snacks, I'm going to make WW friendly monkey bread. You guys, I am so excited about this. I love monkey bread, but as you know, it is incredibly high in points, but not these little single serve monkey breads that we're gonna make today. So let me show you what is in our recipe. You're going to need 2 cans of reduced fat crescent rolls, stevia or another 0-point sweetener alternative, sugar-free syrup, ground cinnamon, and light butter. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do for our monkey bread is we need to take our cans of crescent rolls, roll them out, separate out your triangles, and you are going to be cutting each of your triangle pieces into 3 equal pieces. So you want to make sure that you have about the same amount of dough, and you want to cut each large triangle into 3 pieces, and then you are going to take each piece, roll them into a ball, and then we're just going to set them aside. So we're going to go ahead and get all of our triangles cut up and our little balls of dough set aside. We should be making about 24 balls of dough total. So just make sure that your pieces out of your triangles are fairly even so that your balls are similar in size, because these are what is actually going to create the monkey bread in our little muffin cup. So I'm gonna get all this dough rolled out, and then we'll be ready to assemble our little monkey breads. Once you get all of your dough rolled into balls, we are going to take 1/4 cup of our stevia, and we're also going to add in some ground cinnamon. Go ahead and add in as much as you would like. We're gonna give this a quick stir, and then we are gonna roll our balls into the cinnamon and sugar mixture. Once we roll the balls into the cinnamon and sugar mixture, we are going to go ahead and add them to our muffin tin. You want to put an equal amount, about 4 in each compartment of the muffin tin, so that we make 12 single serve monkey breads. So here are our completed single serve monkey breads. Next, we're gonna go ahead and do our butter and syrup and cinnamon mixture and pour that over the top. These are looking delicious. Next, we're going to take our 1 tablespoon of light melted butter and add that to a bowl. We're also going to take 1/2 cup of sugar-free syrup and add that to the butter. And then lastly, we are gonna go ahead and add some cinnamon, and then this mixture is going to get poured over the top of all of those single serve monkey breads. So this, you guys, is what adds that glaze that you see in a traditional monkey bread, but we are doing it with sugar-free syrup. How smart is that? So I'm going to take a spoonful of my syrup, butter, and cinnamon mixture, and I'm just going to drizzle it on top of each of my little muffin compartments with my dough. And we're gonna wanna use all of this. Now, in the event that you are short a little bit of syrup, the recipe does say that you can go ahead and warm up a little bit more syrup and butter if you need to, but I'm gonna try to stretch this over all 12 because I don't wanna add any additional points to the recipe by adding more butter and more syrup. So we're gonna drizzle this over all 12 of our muffin cups, and then we are ready to put these into the oven. These look so good. What a decadent, sweet, what typically would be a non-WW friendly treat. So there they are. I had more than enough. I was actually able to go over each little muffin cup twice with the syrup, butter, and cinnamon mixture. So I'm going to get these into the oven, and I will show you what the completed single serve WW friendly monkey breads look like. I just pulled our monkey bread out of the oven. These look phenomenal. I've decided that I'm gonna go ahead and melt down 1 tablespoon of sugar-free frosting, or 30 grams, and I'm going to drizzle that on top of each of our monkey breads, and then I'm going to let them cool, and I will show you what they look like and give you the points. But yeah, these look absolutely delicious. And there you have it, with 1 tablespoon of sugar-free vanilla frosting melted and drizzled on top. Okay, how delicious do these look? I will be back in a moment to show you what they look like pulled out of the pan and cooled. Here's the size of the monkey bread. Each one of these is only 4 Smart Points. What an amazing dessert. You could top this with a little bit of fat-free Ready Whip, and you have a 4 Smart Point indulgence. Yum. For one of my snacks this week, I am going to toss some of these Joseph's pita breads. I'm going to cut these into 8 little chip shapes, and I'm going to toss them into my air fryer and make homemade pita chips. And I'm going to have that with some of this roasted red pepper hummus. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to put together my pita chips and hummus, and this is going to be one of my snacks for this week. So for my pita chips, I'm going to take these Joseph's pita breads. I believe that I have, oh perfect, I have 5 left. 1 pita bread is only 1 Smart Point. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this into 8 equal pieces so that I essentially am making a pita chip. And then I'm going to pop these into my air fryer, cook these up until they're crispy, and then that way I have pita chips to go along with my hummus as one of my snacks. These pita breads are so good. I hadn't even tried these before now, and they are absolutely delicious if you pair them with a little bit of hummus. So I'm going to get all of my pita breads cut up into 8 equal pieces, and then we'll get these into the air fryer. Once I have my pita breads cut up into slices, I am going to take some of my Pam olive oil spray, and I'm going to give my little triangles just a couple of spritzes. I do have my pita breads on a sheet of parchment paper, and that just helps make a little bit less of a mess. This olive oil spray will add a little bit of flavor, and it will also help the pitas brown up a little bit more in the air fryer, make them a little bit more brown and crispy. And then to them, I'm going to add just a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt, and basically I'm making a salted pita chip. I don't want to add too much seasoning because I don't want to take away from the flavor of my hummus that I'm going to be dipping my pita chips into. So we're just going to give them a light coat of salt, and we'll get these into the air fryer. So I have my pita chips on the tray. I do have the oven style of air fryer, so I do put everything on a tray. I'm going to go ahead and pop these into the air fryer. Put the second tray on the upper shelf here. There we go. So there are my 2 trays of pita chips in my air fryer. We'll go ahead and get these started and get them nice and crispy. What I normally do is I'll rotate the trays, like I'll move the top to the bottom about halfway through cooking. So I have my air fryer set at about 375 for about 15 minutes. I'm just going to watch the air fryer, and I will pull my chips out when I see that they are getting nice and crispy. So I've measured out 40 grams of hummus, and this is going to go with my pita chips, and this is 1 Smart Point. So I'm going to go ahead and make up 5 little hummus containers for the week. Just pulled this batch of pita chips out of the oven. You can hear my other one going in my air fryer as I'm still cooking the last batch. Look at how good these look, you guys. And then what I did is I just containered up the hummus that I showed you, and then this is the completed snack. So there is 1 bag that has 8 of the pita chips in it and 1 point worth of hummus. So this is a 2 Smart Point pita chips and hummus snack. For my other snack this week, I am going to be bringing some non-fat Greek yogurt that I'm going to sweeten with some stevia in the raw, so that would be 0 points. And then I'm going to be having my all-time favorite granola. This week, I'm going to do the Vanilla Cinnamon Cluster Pro Granola. You can have 1/2 of a cup or 37 grams of this granola for only 2 Smart Points. This granola is amazing. Look at that, you guys. 12 grams of protein and 12 grams of fiber. and only 2 net carbs for 1/2 of a cup. So I'm going to go ahead and bake up my granola, get my yogurt into my little containers, and I'm going to show you my 2 Smart Point snack. So I have my yogurts all done. I have mixed in about a tablespoon of stevia, actually maybe a little bit less, maybe a teaspoon and a half of stevia. I honestly didn't measure, it's 0 points, into the yogurt. And then I have measured out 1/2 of a cup or 37 grams of the Julian Bakery Pro granola. So this granola, you guys, is amazing and is only 2 Smart Points. So I'm going to top my yogurt with that. So this will be a 2 Smart Point snack. This is the Pro granola that I used today. I've had this a long time, so I went ahead and used it up. It's the vanilla cinnamon cluster. It is so good, but I just recently bought the Pro granola espresso cluster. This one, in my opinion, is better, is my all-time favorite. I do have a discount code for Julian Bakery. They are so sweet, and they sent me a discount code for you guys that you can get 10% off of your order from the Julian Bakery website. And the granola is actually cheaper off their website than it is on Amazon with free shipping. So that discount code is here on the screen. Make sure that you use that. Save yourself that 10%. Get the free shipping. Normally, you do not get free shipping on their website, so this code will get you that free shipping. And you can try either the vanilla cinnamon cluster, the espresso cluster, or both. And I believe that there is a cinnamon one as well. But you cannot go wrong with a 2 Smart Point delicious granola. Thank you for joining me on another WW Weekly Meal Prep. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed the 3 recipes that I shared with you and saw the snacks that I am bringing to keep me on track for this upcoming work week. If you are new to my channel, I'd love to extend a very warm welcome. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way YouTube will notify you every single time I upload a new video. I do a Meal Prep Monday and upload my meal prep for the week, so you don't want to miss out. Go ahead, give my video a thumbs up, please. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of this week's meal prep, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Bye.